Wife dumped me after her gym transformation, so I divorced her. Now she's begging me to take her back. I'm not sure why I am posting this. I probably want some validation as my life turned upside down recently. I, a 32-year-old male, was married to my wife, a 33-year-old female, for 4 years, and we had a great marriage so far. I was madly in love with my wife. She fell into depression mainly due to her job in 2022. I tried to support her in every way and suggested her going to the gym or doing any kind of sports to de-stress. I had my own depression episode before we got married, and what saved me was going to the gym. She agreed to that, and we started going there together. I could not go as frequently as in the past since my workload got heavier after my promotion. However, I tried my best to be there with her. She used to be a bit chubby, which I loved, and after seeing some changes with her body, she started to go there regularly. It also helped her with depression, and she got better. I was really happy to see her get better and livelier. She looked more confident, got more aggressive in bed, and so on. Ever after a while, the confidence level started to affect our relationship for the worse. She started going to parties and going outside to a point she completely stopped doing her share in the house. That proceeded with me seeing her getting flirty with a guy at a meetup we went to. I communicated my feelings to her, and she dismissed these. After several of these, I had her sit down with me and told her that she is riding high on her newly found confidence and emotions right now. I clearly stated she should not make decisions or actions according to that confidence right now. I know it well. It was one of my worst traits. I used to be extremely emotionally driven in the past. I suggested we go to a marriage counselor, and hell broke loose. She said vile things to me, like how she realized she settled down with me after getting better, and she could do much better than me. She said I am insecure in other things. This woman used to be the sweetest person on earth, and I was shocked after hearing the things she said to me. She filed for divorce the following month, and I did not hear much from her other than some lawyer talks. Our court seeing is scheduled to be next month, and my lawyer told me there is a high chance it'll be concluded then. There is not much to share. Similar income, only shared asset is our joint account, similar savings, and no kids. The house is my mom's, so it's out of division. I accepted my marriage is going to end like that. Last week, she called crying and told me she regrets everything. She apologized over and over again, but I felt disappointed. Not angry, not sad, but just disappointed. She did not text me, nor call me even once since the divorce started. I did not even know where she was since she just left the home. I told her there is no going back now. She has been messaging me nonstop. My family supports my decision and tells me I should not back down. My in-laws were shocked when they heard about the divorce. They are now telling me to rethink everything. I will 99.9% not back down, but as I said, just looking for validation and maybe wanted to vent. Thank you for reading. Some comments. How long were you separated? Did she tell you why she made the mistake? About 5 months. She did not specify it. I am not sure what happened that may need her to call me crying first. Let me say I completely agree that there's no going back now for you. And you are right to not back down from proceeding with your divorce. She made her choice, hurt you deeply, and you deserve to have someone who loves you unconditionally. I just wanted to offer my perspective as someone who is a larger woman all my life and lost a significant amount of weight. The difference with how men interact with women in larger and smaller bodies is intense. I went from being invisible to being hit on everywhere I went. It messes with your brain in so many ways, and I began to tie desirability from random strangers to my own self-worth. It was like offering water to a person dying of thirst. This, of course, is unhealthy as hell. Your wife had a loving partner who she left behind for seemingly greener pastures, but has come to a stark realization that she has made a big mistake. I'm not endorsing her actions, but saying that I do understand how she could have made them. I hope you find someone who values you the way you deserve. Thank you for sharing your perspective. My wife was not even overweight or extremely big, just chubby. It actually made her more attractive for me with all the curves. I would even go as far as to say she was more attractive for me before she lost weight. The behavior shift just from losing weight seemed incredibly weird to me. Update. We are officially divorced. There was not much to share, so it went smooth as butter according to my lawyer. I've never talked to her other than through lawyers as much as she wanted me to. She tried to talk to me one-on-one and get closure, but I just do not want that. It's not that I do not care why she left me, which she did during that time. I just do not want to know. I've been living without her for months now. At first, it was difficult, and I cried all night some days, but after a few months, I feel like I came to accept everything. What peace will it give to learn what and why when I already accept everything? Other than hurting me for once, I want to prioritize my peace of mind in this whole process. My parents and friends are here to support me, and I am glad that I have such a great support circle. As for what my plans are, renovate my office room in the house, get back to the gym, and live my best life. I've been wanting to renovate my office room for a while now, and that's what I'll start with. I started hitting the gym at the same time. I believe my body is good, but I have some extra fat. Dieting proved itself difficult because I am a tier MSU addict. For the dating part, I uploaded a few apps and tried out how I am doing. I got a decent number of matches, but I realized I do not feel like doing it right now. I'll focus on my own hobbies, well-being, and wants for now. Thank you for all the support and help in the last post. Relevant comment. When the person who chooses to leave wants closure, just shut the door and keep it shut. They only want to make themselves feel better about their decision, no matter how bad it screwed you over. Bigger and better things to look forward to. OP, all the best. It sounds like she did realize how badly she effed up and was going to try and convince him to take her back after she ran away and had her fun. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if it all started from just small statements made to her at the gym, and she just ran with it from there. I'm really sorry you had to go through this awful experience. I agree with you that closure is just for her, as you shed all the tears and pain you needed to. All the best for you. Keep looking after yourself, and I am proud of how you have handled yourself during this difficult time. From a cyber friend. I think I gave myself my own closure, and the conclusion is having my best life and moving on. That's the best thing I can do. Thanks for the good wishes. Story 2. My wife and I have been married for 18 years. We are both 36 years old. Although we've had our ups and downs with separation and near divorce, we've managed to stay together. We had kids, 20, male, 17, female, 11, female, very young, which is why we got married so young. Marriage never crossed my mind growing up, but after our unplanned pregnancy, it was the right thing to do. About a year into our marriage, I was working out of state. She had an affair and had gotten pregnant. I thought I could forgive and forget, so I stayed. But life is never that easy. That was 17 years ago, when I raised my daughter as my own, but I was never able to forgive her. It's always been in the back of my mind, eating away. We have tried marriage counseling twice before, which didn't really do much. Just bring the past to the we have tried marriage counseling twice before, which didn't really do much. Just bring the past to the surface, but no solution. This is what caused our near divorce before. But when I left, the feeling of being alone without my kids made me come back and try to make it work again. Although my wife and I don't argue or fight, have date nights regularly and a healthy sex life, I hate being married. I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been married this long. I do not see a long-lasting marriage as an accomplishment, no offense to lifelong partners. I honestly just do not love her. She is not the type of woman that I wanted to spend my life with, but I never wanted our kids to grow up without both parents together, which is why I've stayed this long. I believe that having both parents present significantly affects your children's development in a positive way. Even though I've been wanting divorce and have been planning on it once my 11-year-old turns 18 within the past year, the feeling has intensified. I just can't see myself leaving again because the feeling of sleeping in another home away from my kids destroys me. Sorry for the long post. I just had to tell someone. To the earlier comments, I left the details of the affair out because my thinking is that if I choose to forgive her, then I choose to forget it also, and bringing it up would be throwing it in her face, which is something I don't think is right. Some relevant comments. Shared custody kind of sucks, but I can say it doesn't suck forever. When you don't have them, allow yourself to have a life. This is time you have to work on yourself, explore hobbies, and eventually start dating. I miss my boy when he's with his mother, but it seems like we have more quality time when he is with me. Also, even when he's with his mom, we'll still play Helders or something most evenings. As someone who grew up with parents who had shared custody of me, I am very happy my parents were divorced. They would have been absolutely miserable together, and I would have probably been sad only seeing half of my family. However, there are things they should have done differently and better. Resentment unfortunately does build over time and can destroy a marriage. 7 years may be too long. Agree to never tell our kids the truth, and it might be best to seek a divorce instead of wasting 7 years on both ends. Though through DNA testing the daughter will likely find out one day, but by then it's her mother's duty to talk. Make sure that is clear before you seek divorce. Just advice. Good luck. I promise the kids know their parents are headed for divorce. Adults forget how observant kids are about family dynamics. Kids have to be that observant to survive. You honestly should have left her when she cheated and had a fair baby. Been through this myself. Your world will get so much less stressful and better times ahead once you get this person out of your life. Not the idiot. Yes, too many people realize that way too late. With age does come wisdom, and a young man is much more likely to think that he'll be able to overcome something like this. Unfortunately or fortunately, the young man gets older and realizes he's wasted too much of his life to waste any more of it with an adulterous wife. Story 3. I, 32 male. I'm married to my wife, 32 female, for 6 years and together for 9 years. Our love-making life gradually diminished into nothing after 3rd year of our marriage. We do not have children as of now. I handle my part of chores in the household, if not even more due to me working from home and being available mostly. I do show her non-sensual attention and gestures such as massaging, kisses, being emotionally available, and other things. I explain these because people tend to find fault from my side first after I tell them about the situation. I try to have many talks with my wife about it, but it all boils down to we are not married just for sex. Stop thinking with your thing down there and so on. However, she does not stop herself from teasing me. She'll talk about sex, but just reject me afterwards and go to sleep. She'll be flirty, but nothing in the end. I asked her if it's a kink, and if it's I am not comfortable with such a thing, especially as our sensual life is in shambles. She said it's not a kink, and she genuinely does not feel in the mood. I told her to stop teasing me. Yesterday was our anniversary, and we had a great date together. She implied sex and teased me a lot during our time. I was hopeful that we'll do something in the end. Guess what? Once we stepped inside the house, she just showered and went to bed. Cool. I think I should approach. I tried and got rejected in the end. I lost it at that moment and just shouted my frustration at her. I told her I am going to divorce her. I packed my clothes and some important belongings and left for a hotel. She tried to stop me but could not. She has been calling me nonstop, but I just need peace of mind right now. It's just frustrating being together with someone but feeling alone and unwanted sucks. On top of that, she gives me hope only to destroy it. I called my lawyer friend this morning, and we'll start the divorce proceedings this Monday. I am just done at this point. Am I the idiot? Some comments. Not the idiot. It's really messed up to lead a person on like that, especially your own husband. Not the idiot. That is messed up. Get out, man. Get a lawyer. Don't think she will be reasonable. Not the idiot. Constant teasing without follow-through is cruel. You deserve better. Stay strong. Story 4. My wife is pregnant and is pretty emotionally distressed. She will cry over getting the wrong type of onions, and she will cry when I am upset about something disrespectful and upsetting. She said to me I used to push my emotions aside and focus on comforting her, make the bed and do most of the heavy chores. And apart from the stress of my job, I think I am getting emotionally fatigued too. Her crying doesn't elicit as much empathy in me, but I do try and make it look like I care about her when I absolutely would have put my foot down and ignored her if she wasn't pregnant with my kid. For example, just few days ago, I noticed a consistent pattern of our grocery bill increasing. Probably because when I'm at work, she orders stuff online to get it delivered. I told her she needs to be able to regulate her cravings better and not let them get to her because we both don't earn that much. This seemed to piss her off and she started crying. This time I didn't even move. Yes, she's the one who's pregnant and her issues matter the most, but it has started to feel like her issues take up so much space that it leaves no room to discuss what bothers me because she will have another meltdown. Look, I'm not against her. I want to work with her, but it feels like she isn't meeting me. I'm emotionally fatigued, and it seems that her unregulated emotions and crying never lead to any productive conversations or changes, and I'm tired. So this time, rather than invest any more energy onto her, I simply said that I'll come back to this conversation after she gets a grip eases and calms down and has time to reflect on what I said versus how she's reacting. Because I never attacked her, I simply reminded her to be mindful of our budget. I am not proud of my language, and yes, I was wrong for the grip comment, but keeping in mind I was frustrated, and at the end of my rope, it was the kindest thing I could have said. She said I was being insensitive and treated her like a child. Am I the idiot? Some comments. Besides the increase in crying, how is her mood? A lot of people have heard of postpartum depression, but prenatal depression, depression brought on during pregnancy, is a very real thing too. If that's the case, things are unlikely to get any better unless she gets appropriate support. Couldn't have worded it better. Go with her to the doctor as a concerned husband and parent. If it's a real problem, you'll find out and she'll get better. If it's partially made up, you'll find out. Things will get better crying wise, but you need to have a serious talk. A few things I have questions about. You said she was disrespectful. What did she say or do that made you feel disrespected? You do realize that grocery prices are not really coming down, and that food producers are also lessening the amount they sell for the same price or more. So those bills would probably be higher anyway. You know that babies cry a lot more. How are you planning to have empathy for the new tiny human? Walking away before exploding is good, but it seems like you both can work on communication. Oh, and you will probably end up continuing to do a lot of the chores and tasks you picked up if she is the default caretaker anyway. Figure some of this out now, and you will be set up better for when the baby is born.